Hi guys, so today we are doing Big Maths, Clic 16, and we are going to find out how to find the missing decimal piece. Let's get started. We need to first think about everything that we know about numbers. So we know that when we have units, we can only fit as many as 9 units in that place value. And once it becomes 10, then the one lot of tens would then belong in the tens column. We know that in the tens column, once we have 10 lots of 10, it would then have to be moved over that into one lot of 100. And again, once we have 10 lots of 100, they would move on to the thousands column. So we know that that is what we need to do in order for the place value of a number to increase. We also know that when we add, the number gets bigger. Okay, so it becomes larger than the original. We also must remember that when the strategies that we have learned for mental maths for adding numbers together, for example, are jigsaw numbers. So if we have, for example, 45 plus something, and we are going to make it into, we need to turn it into 100, we know that our units column must add up to 10. And we know that our tens column would then need to add up to 9. The reason that we know that the tens column only has to add up to 9 lots of tens is because we know that the units column was full and it has handed over an extra lot of tens here. Okay, and it would be the same if we were doing this as a written standard algorithm. Okay, a written column sum. But what we need to do in our heads is simply think, okay, for the jigsaw numbers, I'm trying to get to 100. How can I do that? And again, you would just be putting your units to add up to 10 and your tens to add up to 9. So we know 45 plus 55 makes 100. Same rule be applied when we're looking at decimals. So if we have a value in the tenths column, then we know that we would need that value to equal 10 lots of tenths to make 1 unit. Okay, so we would need 10 lots of tenths to add up to 1 unit so that the place value would increase and the 1 would be moved over here. If we were working with hundredths, then it would be exactly the same. We would need 10 lots of hundredths in order to make 1 tenths. Okay, so let's see how we apply that knowledge of place value in order to help us solve our problem. Problem that said, okay, how many more to make 10 from 4.3? What the problem really looks like is 4.3 plus what equals 10. So I'm going to use my knowledge of jigsaw numbers and my knowledge of place value here to help me. Now I know that in order with jigsaw numbers, the rule is the smallest place value will always be added to make 10. And I want to make this add up to one whole number, yes, but I'm going to have to make it 10 tenths in order for that place value to change and for it to become one whole number that moves over to this place value. So I'm going to think, well, I know that 3 plus 7 is 10, so that means that 3 tenths plus 7 tenths must equal 10. And then I know that my next place value, I want it to add up to 9. So I'm going to think, well, 4 plus what equals 9? 4 plus 5 equals 9. Now I can double check that again because 7 plus 3 would give me 10 lots of tenths, which would then equal 0 here, and I would carry over 1. I would put my decimal place back. Then I would do 5 plus 4 plus 1, which equals 10. There is a way to double check that my answer is correct. However, the aim of this is to do it in your head. Okay, you can use these strategies to help you to begin with. This is the model of your jigsaw. It's not any different. The only difference would be is that you're drawing a box around it. Okay, but the concept is still the same. So always breaking it up, starting with the smallest number and think in your head, okay, so 3 plus what equals 10. So let's try another example. Here we have 7.4, and the question is 7.4 plus something equals 10. Okay, or as in big maths it would say, how many more do you need to make 10? Okay, so again I'm thinking, okay, so 7.4, right, so I want my smallest place value to add up to 10. So I need to make 10 lots of tenths here. Okay, so 6 plus 4 I know makes 10. So that means it's 4 tenths plus 6 tenths is going to make 10 tenths. So I know it's going to be 6. I then have to think to myself, oh, always remember to put my decimal dot in. If I don't, then the number will change. Okay, now I'm going to think 7 plus what gives me 9. Okay, so here's where all those great learn it's come in handy. So 7 plus 2 gives me 9. Now I can double check that my answer is correct by adding them up together. So I can use my jigsaw knowledge here, which also is very similar. Yep, that's right, to our written column sum. So 6 plus 4 equals 10. 7 plus 2 plus 1 equals, that's right, 10. And there we are. The answer is 10. What I want you to do is, yes, you can double check your answer by doing it this way, but I want to see if you can straight away just work that out in your head. Okay, follow the task that I have given you on the assignments page and see if you can complete it on your own. If not, you can use this strategy on your whiteboard to figure it out. Okay, good luck.